I don't think my apartment complex is too happy with the fact that we removed the transmission in their parking lot here. I did move the transmission to my parents' garage, so honestly, not for the apartment's management sake, more so I can feel better about it not being stolen. But we're here, of course, doing what we always do, which is working on the good old piece of shit 350Z, which I love to death. Good old BQski right here, you know what I'm saying? So, but goodish, kind of baddish news. Not bad news. It's really not bad news, but it does make me quite butthurt. Mixed emotions is what I'll say. I'll show you all here in a second. I'm about to get underneath the car, but I don't think our rear main seal is leaking. I think it may have been our valve cover gaskets the whole entire time. So, I honestly don't know. The first time we did the rear main seal, when we took it off and I looked at the rear main, it did have oil right there, but we never wiped it clean and wait to see if more oil seeped through, and really tell where it was coming from. So I did do that this time, and no oil seeped through the rear main after sitting for a few days. It's all pulling up at the top of the motor near the back, towards the valve cover gaskets. So it is the valve cover gaskets. I also, if y'all saw a TikTok I made, I also was sus that it could have been maybe the camshaft positioning sensors, because those are on the back of the motor, and sometimes those seals blow out and they can leak oil. Um, it's not those. I wiped them clean and they're still dry as a bone. The only thing I haven't checked is our PCV valve, um, or yeah, positive crankcase, yeah, PCV. It's either, yeah, PV. No, it's not PVC. PCV valve. Could also be leaking. I haven't checked that, so could be that. But I'm about to get under the car, show you all that our rear main honestly looks really good. I'm about to clean it up one last time and add. Sounds very redneck, but just add another strip of RTV just to call it good, and then I'm gonna drop the car and start on the valve cover gaskets. If you saw that, obviously I have till next week until my apartment's gonna tow the car to get her running again. So yeah, fix the valve gaskets, make 100% sure that it's not leaking from the rear main seal before I put the transmission back on, put the trans back on, bolt button everything back up, and she'll be all good to go again. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to make the next drift event. The next drift event is December 28th. Going on a vacation with the family, and we get back on December 28th late at night. Gonna try to get the boys to go with the Z. We'll see how that plays out, but if not, we'll try to do something cool with the Z. Obviously, try to bring a cool video to y'all as always. But yeah, let's get on with a quick little valve cover gasket job on a good old VQ ski. So it's hard to see, boys, but the rear main is looking absolutely flawless. There's a spot here and a spot here, but they're not even pulling up. They're literally not even seeping oil. They just look very slightly wet. So that's why I'm going to give just one more strip of RTV right there with my handy old RTV right here to just make sure that she's all good to go. But she's been sitting here for 2 days. If y'all saw our drift event video, she's been leaking. I mean, look how much oil is pulled up right there. I wiped that clean on Friday, so if this was leaking, it would be very obvious that is from here, and it's not. So if you look up the motor, you can see there. It's hard to see, but right there's oil pulled up. And then right, that one's a little easier to see right there. There's also oil pulled up. So that is right the back of the motor, right underneath and behind both the valve cover gaskets. That's literally the last bolt that they bolt onto right there. So yeah, it's been leaking from our valve cover gaskets this whole time. So I'm just going to clean this up real good one last time. RTV her up one last time, and let her sit a few more days, obviously, before we put the trans back on, just to really make sure that it's clean. And because I really don't want to take this transmission back off again until we have to do a clutch job, which is hopefully later down the road. Um, and then I'm just gonna drop the car and hopefully knock out a quick valve cover gasket job, and then maybe tomorrow or the next day after I make sure this is still clean and dry, put the trans back on, bolt everything up, and then my apartment complex will not tow my baby girl. So we're gonna do that real quick, and I'll update y'all probably when we're starting on those bad boys up there. Alrighty, boys, this is the second RTV job that I've had to do on this rear main. Um, Both of them, unfortunately, probably unnecessary because it's probably been the valve cover gaskets the whole time. But I'm just doing this to be sure. Call it redneck or janky, whatever you want. I just never want to have to do this again. So yeah, I goopied the hell out of her up, and we're gonna give that a long time to dry. Um, and I'll be checking this every couple days just to make sure this stays dry and it's not leaking before I put the transmission back on. And now we're going to start on just trying to knock out those valve cover gaskets real quick. So hopefully it's nice and easy and doesn't give me too many problems. If y'all saw our TikTok, I already have the upper and lower intake plenum off. So I'm already at the valve covers. I just got to disconnect all like the vacuum hoses and everything connected to the intake plenum so I could take it off fully, but I have all the bolts loosened off and everything. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get that knocked out real quick, and then maybe tomorrow or the next day or the day after that, hopefully sometime soon, we will be putting this motherfucker back together, so my apartment does not tow her away. But yeah, that's that, boys, and I'll see y'all at the top. Alrighty, boys, so we are at the top of the motor now. Obviously, if you saw my TikTok, we talked about that, all the oil uh, in both the upper and lower intake plenums, but did some research and figured out, one, it's a rev up, so it's pretty common. They burn a lot of oil. Two, it's probably a bad PVC valve, which we talked about before. I got both upper and lower intake plenums off. I got the intake holes covered up with towels to make sure nothing falls in there. Next step is to just unbolt this wiring harness so I can gently move it out of the way. And then we're going to start unbolting all of the bolts for the valve covers. And then we'll pull them off and be at our gaskets and hopefully be able to knock that out. I wanted to take this completely off. It's really hard to get that and that off. So I kind of just propped it up there. I might eventually need to take them off to fully take the covers off, but we will get there. Hopefully, when you'll see me next, the valve covers will be off the vehicle, and I will be heading to O'Reilly's to get said gaskets and all the other gaskets that we need to replace because we took a couple of them off for the upper and inner intake. So, yeah, see y'all then. Alrighty, boys and girls. Well, fast forward about 3 hours later, and we got the valve covers out. It was a lot harder than I anticipated. Those are the gaskets. Those are the other gaskets we need to replace, and a hose accidentally broke. My dad had to come help me because I was struggling. What do you got to say, Daddy-O?
Old school engineology.
There we are. Engineology is what saved the day. I was struggling with a bolt that was on the back left corner here. That one right there, because the wiring harness is really in the way. And then also just getting the valve covers off because they're really sealed on there. So now we just go buy the new gasket and hopefully throw everything together and hope everything works. So yeah, see y'all then. What are we doing, Brennan?
Putting screws in, man.
Carpentry with Brennan?
Yeah, I'm not like a legit carpenter.
Ah, don't lie.
I'm not. Like,
He used to build furniture and sell it, man.
I used to, but not anymore.
He's a carpenter. We're working on Brennan's bed frame here. What did I do?
It's okay.
It's uneven.
It's alright.
That's what happens when you have a shitty...
And now every time I see that, I'll be like, oh, Matt was here. I don't know how I feel about Caribou knowing what my house looks like.
All right, guys, this is Brennan's...
Because what if they're
Shows
driving by one day and... Oh, yeah, this is my shop. Look, dude, I was super proud of this, but then my grandma left it out. It's a cooler.
Damn, you built it?
Yeah. All out of like wooden slats. This took forever. I had like insulated it and everything, but then she left it outside. And then people started using it for storage. But look, that's a motorcycle license plate.
Yeah, that's hard.
All those license plates I have, like in my room too, my cousin got them from like a pick and pull place.
Yeah.
Shout out Ashlyn. She a G. She's like a crazy welder, bro. Yeah.
But yeah, boys, we're fixing up Brennan's bed frame.
You think I should like trim this up more?
Maybe. I mean, it would take more weight off.
Because this is only a 45-degree angle, but I could go like 60 maybe.
Yeah. Cut it like here.
Dude, it's gonna look so good once it's stained though, because that light wood right there, that's gonna absorb stain like
more.
more.
Yeah, boys. See y'all when we're finishing up.
Actually, there's a long process left. Like, there's a lot of stuff that I'm gonna be doing when you're not here, because it takes like 3 coats of stain, 2 coats of polyurethane.
Damn.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Carpentry's a longer process.
Then mechanic? No.
Yeah.
Well, mechanic is like as soon as you're done, you're done.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, but with like as soon as you're done building, then you have to go to the next step, which is
painting. Or not painting, but staining.
Coating or
sanding.
What is it? What am I thinking? Sealing. That's the word I'm thinking of.
Ah, sealing.
Yeah.
So it doesn't absorb water.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. You just want to go like layer by layer?
Or do whatever you want. It's an orbital sander, so you're not gonna leave streaks.
What's going on, guys? It's a new day. Y'all saw kind of the clip of me, Brennan, and Julian mess around with Brennan's headrest, building a headrest for Brennan. But I'm again working on the Z. I've been horrible at filming, guys. The valve cover gaskets are completely done. I got everything back on there, nice and clean down in there. I can't really tell if y'all can see that, but nice and clean where the valve gaskets meet the top of the motor, the heads, before they were super oily. So I got them all cleaned up, replaced the valve cover gaskets, and I'm pretty sure that's gonna fix our oil leak. Don't really want to get back underneath the car. It's raining. I'm kind of finishing up right now, but I put the flywheel on, then it started raining on me. So literally all we gotta do is put the flywheel on. The rear main looks absolutely amazing. So it wasn't the rear main. It was the valve cover gaskets the whole time. So I just put the flywheel back on. I just gotta wait. I torqued it to 40 foot-pounds. It needs to go to 60. So I gotta wait to do the second torquing on the 60 foot-pounds, just because I need somebody to hold the flywheel in place. And then I can put the clutch on, then we put the transmission on, then we put the drive shaft on, then we put the exhaust on, and then we got our drift car ready to fucking rumble again, baby. So that's it for this video. Just kind of quick update. Valve cover gaskets are done. We're getting ready to put the transmission back on, and the car's gonna be ready to go. So I'm gonna clean up for today. Also, if you haven't, that was kind of the start of the video. Obviously, my apartment is going to tow the vehicle by Wednesday if I don't have it running. So right now it's currently Friday, so we'll definitely have it running before then. So not really too worried about that. Apparently somebody reported it, which obviously fair enough. It's pretty ugly to have a transmission, you know, bunch of tools out and shit, so I understand. But yeah, that's it for this video. Caribou Tuning, love y'all. If you haven't already, like, subscribe. We have a dream of becoming the most successful performance shop in history, tuning shop, better than Hennessy, better than Shelby, anything of the likes. So if you want to start with us as at the journey of owning a piece of shit 350Z and barely knowing how to work on it and working all the way up to making the baddest tuning cars the world's ever seen, then go ahead and follow. So other than that, love you guys. Peace out.